asking me why I decided to run for Lodi City Council and if they think I'm ready. But I really wasn't sure if I wanted to run this year when I was looking earlier this year, I guess I should say. I was looking into information on City Council and Lodi politics and everything. I was thinking about running in the future, but not this election year or this election cycle because I'm still in school. I honestly don't know when I'm going to be finished with school. People say, well, maybe in 2 years you're going to get your bachelor's or whatever. Is that going to be good enough? No. Well, is it really going to be good enough? Maybe I'll want to get my master's. Maybe I want to go to law school. I don't know when I want to finish school because I just love learning. I'm always learning something new. But anyways, that's why I wasn't thinking about running for city council this year. Then the coronavirus pandemic happened, and then everybody's lives got turned all around. But the thing that really annoyed me was just how all these government officials didn't know what to do. And they've just talked for so many years, if not decades, about how they're the best leaders and how they're fiscally conservative and they have things planned. But apparently they didn't have anything planned with this. They didn't have any rainy day funds. It just went haywire. And then that was from our government leaders. And then when it came to the community and the business leaders, I've been working at the Walmart here in town, and people just went crazy and were just kind of like fighting amongst themselves for supplies. And then even the management didn't really know what to do. They're just kind of scrambling around, just trying to prevent their store from collapsing. So it almost seemed like society was collapsing around me just because the people that are supposed to be in charge didn't have a handle on it. The people responsible weren't being responsible, I guess you can say. And I'm not going to name names because I want to say that it's everyone, all of them, every single one, 100%. But whatever. So that event, just the whole pandemic, is what really pushed me and drove me to run for city council this election year. I would have just waited 4 more years if we didn't have a pandemic. Of course, there's a lot of other things I have been looking into to fix, things we need to address, but I didn't have that push that I felt this year. And I was having a little meeting, sort of, with some of my volunteers last week, and then with another person that I'm familiar with in politics, and we're just doing like this little virtual house party. And he was saying, tell the volunteers why this election year is that important. It was why it's really important, And I honestly wasn't prepared to answer the question. I didn't know he was going to ask me that question. And I'm an honest person. I don't throw a bunch of BS political stuff around. And I just said, a lot of times, well, every single election year, they say this is the most important time. Vote this way or that way. Vote for your conscience, etc., etc. But, well, of course, each election is important. Every single representative is important. You always have to voice your concerns. But to say this election is the most important, it just got old because they say that every single time. And sometimes it seemed like they just said that because they want you to vote a specific way, so they're making you kind of panic. However, this time, 2020, as I was saying, with the whole coronavirus pandemic, it is easy to say, yes, this election is incredibly important because who you choose will be in control for the next couple years. As with city council, it's 4 years, the next 4 years. And they will be looking after all of the departments, all of the budget, and our budget will be cut and reduced because of the pandemic. And you also have to look at who is actually caring about the different issues. Because if all of our representatives only care about money and the businesses being open and then tax dollars and that way to get revenue, then that is a quick way for a lot of people to lose their lives, a lot of people to get sick. And, well, just yesterday, we got news that federal government had to come over to this town, Lodi, because our hospital is at over 100% capacity for the ICUs. The hospital as a whole is at in the 70% capacity. And there's just so many people here in town who just refuse to wear a mask, or so they say this is all fake news. It's not real. Pictures, videos, or it didn't happen or whatever. But we are still in the middle of an economic depression, more or less. We are still in the middle of a global pandemic. This election is incredibly important, and who you choose for your representative is incredibly important. So yes, this election might be the biggest, most important election of our lifetimes, probably. Even more so than the 2004 election after we went into Iraq and Afghanistan. This is even more important